Hey, what's going on everybody? Mike here from DIY AQUAPROs. For August 2014, the plant of the month is Sagittaria species, specifically Sagittaria subulata, or Dwarf Sag, and Sagittaria platyphylla, also called broadleaf sag. Found growing naturally in South and Central America, and spreading rapidly throughout the United States, both species of sag are fast-growing plants perfect for filling in the mid and foreground of your planted tank. I absolutely love dwarf sag and incorporate it into all of my tanks because it fills in fast and always looks great. Both species will appreciate similar conditions, a temperature between 68 and 82 degrees Fahrenheit, pH in the range of 6 to 8, and a DGH and DKH within 3 to 12. These species are, however, extremely hardy and can still grow in conditions outside of those previously stated parameters, an example of this later. Both species don't require intense light, CO2 supplementation, or added ferts, but their behavior in your tank will hinge on the environment. I seem to always get the best growth out of these guys with a soil substrate rich in iron and enhanced CO2 levels, like with most other plants. If lighting is strong, these plants tend to stay lower and propagate more readily throughout the aquarium, which is often the preferred outcome. In contrast, low lighting seems to promote these plants to grow taller as they reach for more light. The larger of the two, being Sagittaria platyphylla, grows large broad leaves capable of reaching almost 2 feet, again in most cases when the environment allows. This makes it useful as a mid and even background plant in shallower tanks if you don't trim off the tall foliage. Sagittaria subulata or dwarf sag typically has shorter and narrower leaves, making it great as a fore and mid-ground plant, especially if lighting is high. It's fairly easy and attractive to create a dwarf sag carpet in the front of your tank, something that I try and do a lot. When keeping this plant, I usually stick with moderate to strong lighting since they're almost always the maximum distance from the light source, and because I almost always am looking to get them filling in the foreground. I've had success growing these plants in various tanks with different dimensions. The available PAR paired with the distance from the light to the plants are often the most important factors. That being said, both Sagittaria species can grow well under a wide range of light scenarios, so no need to make any drastic changes in order to keep this plant. Best to just experiment. Now, in my opinion, the biggest perk of keeping a plant like Sagittaria is its ability to propagate naturally via runners. Typically, after a few weeks of just planting one, you'll start to notice new plants popping up nearby from the substrate. These daughter or propagate plants are an exact clone of the original and serve as a reproductive and survival strategy if the correct conditions are met. I've also noticed that trimming off a few of the leaves from each plant will help increase the rate of this auto-propagation and will in turn help you get that carpet effect that's so desirable. Both broadleaf and dwarf Sagittaria are very hardy plants and can survive in both unstable and hot and cold environments. If you follow DIY AQUAPROs on Facebook, you may have seen a photo I posted of the DIY grow-out pond I set up a few months ago. I planted just 3 dwarf sag plants, and despite daily temperature fluctuations of almost 30 degrees, those 3 plants have already propagated and turned into almost 50. This extreme propagation may have been triggered by the adverse conditions in the unstable pond, the intense light it receives, or a combination of both. Once you get your plants multiplying, you can also cut the runners off from the original and relocate them, which is really handy. Overall, dwarf and broadleaf sag are great hardy beginner plants that I recommend everyone give a try. I'm sure you'll love them. I want to know what type of sag you guys keep or have kept, and why you liked or disliked them. Let me and other plant keepers know in the comments below. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and check us out on Facebook. I enjoy interacting with all of you. Also, keep your eyes out for the beginner fish and plant guide coming very soon to DIYAquapros.com. Hey, we'll see you next time.